Look, if you want to connect with people, this is a skill you need to level up, non-negotiable. And this isn't coming from me. This is coming from the founding father of social skills, charisma, Dale Carnegie. In his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, he says that one of the base laws of human conduct that gives you more friends than enemies is a simple one. So, what is it? You've probably heard it before, but there's a lot of misunderstandings about this. It's making the other person feel important. Now, wait, don't click off. I know you're thinking, Tondo, I've heard this before, okay? Make sure you're looking at them in their eyes, make sure you're smiling, and make sure you're nodding and being like, oh yes, yeah. That is not making them feel important. That is you being a people pleaser. And yes, there is a difference between these two. You see, in my opinion, what Dale Carnegie means when he says, make the other person feel important, it's to do the things and remember the things that the average person who goes through their day thinking about only themselves wouldn't do. It's remembering their name, for starters. Because think about it, do you genuinely, absolutely remember somebody, remember somebody's name after they've told it to you? Or do you often maybe forget it, need to ask them a few more times to do so? Now don't lie, I know you do this sometimes. And what about birthdays? Do you remember people's birthdays? Do you have like a calendar where you've written down everybody's birthdays that you know? Probably not. And I'm not trying to shame you for this, I don't do this either, honestly. But the thing is that these traits that you do, where you remember things about people, you take an interest in them, in their lives, is what distinguishes a normal person from a charismatic person. And remember, I don't mean being a people pleaser. When you pretend to be a person of interest, somebody that falsely feigns interest in, let's say they like golf, suddenly you buy golf clubs, you start wearing golf clothes, you, I don't know, start following all of the golf sports players when you don't actually care. Like if you do that because you like it, then that's fine. But if you do it just because you want that other person to like you, then that's just people pleasing. But a person that, let's say that you meet somebody who likes playing golf, then from there, maybe you Google a few golf players, and maybe you watch one golf game recently. And then the next time you meet the person, you have something golf related to talk about. This is just something small that, it takes like less than half an hour out of your day that you could do. And the next time you meet the person, I guarantee they will be much more open and receptive to you, because you just seem like a person who genuinely, without any ulterior motives, cares about them. In a simple way, caring about their hobbies, caring about who they are. Like for example, when I meet a new girl, like total strangers, this is gonna sound so weird actually, I don't know why I'm telling this, but I write down their name in my like notes app. And I don't do this for any weird reason, I swear. I just do it so that not only can I remember them, so I can place a name to their face, which in a minute I'm gonna explain how you can always remember people's names. But it's also so that if, for some reason, I ever do see them again, I won't have to ask, who are you again? What's your name again? Because that's so awkward. Like when you have to ask somebody what their name is after you've met them, it can just feel so disingenuous. And another law from Dale Carnegie is that like the person's name is the sweetest thing that you can hear, well, that they can hear. So remembering it is of the utmost importance. And stick around, I'm going to tell you another thing about names that I feel like is also misunderstood. So, because I'll just tell you now, honestly. People say, well, I've tried this and it just comes across as weird. I think it's because if you needlessly start putting a person's name into a conversation, obviously it's going to sound weird because it's unnatural. Like, let's say that I was speaking to a guy named James, and we're talking about politics. And I'm saying, James, what do you think of this, James? Now, James, I think we can both agree that you and I are going to have different opinions on this, but James, I'm going to need you to cooperate with me on this. Okay, it sounds a bit odd if I start just saying James, 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 James. No, what a person means by that is that remembering that name so that the next time that you use it, they remember that you know, then you're using it correctly. In my opinion, I'm just a guy, so feel free not to do this, but if you want success, I think this will work. And now, the name trick to always remember. So basically, what do you want to do? When you meet the person, you handshake them properly, like a gentleman, and they tell you their name. You say, oh my word, I was gonna make such an edgy joke there about the person's name. I'm gonna go with Chris. Not what I was originally gonna go with in my head. Hi, I'm Chris. Hi, I'm Tondo. Chris. Now what you do, say it a few times in your head. Chris, Chris, Chris. Spell it out. C-R-I-S, 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 Chris. Now that stuff's easy. The next thing I want you to do is picture in your head the person you just met standing next to another person that you know named Chris. So let's say you meet a guy, he's very, skinny, lanky guy with floppy hair and some Under Armour hoodie, something like that. Then you picture that dude standing next to Chris Hemsworth, or standing next to Chris Evans, or both of them, I don't know. Obviously, that person looked very out of place there. Just two big jack dudes next to this skinny guy. But this is a super, super easy way to have a mental connection to the person. You see their face, you think of Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth, both Chris's. You remember, oh, this guy's name is also Chris. Okay, this is gonna sound goofy, but just try it. Dude, you have literally zero to lose right now. Zero. So, just do this. And the last thing that I'll mention about this whole, way of going about remembering people's names is that some will say that, oh, well, people don't do this for me, though. They don't remember my name. But let me tell you something. And it's, this quote from the Bible that I may end up butchering a bit. But it's do unto others what you would want done unto yourself. It doesn't matter if they don't do this to you. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to be kind to them. That shouldn't even be a question. That's non-negotiable. Doing good does not require them to be good to you. That's a misunderstanding brought about in our modern day by, everybody's so sensitive and so willing to get up in arms over things that I think we've forgotten that kindness is free. And I don't want to hear anyone in the comments talking about hating is free too. Yeah, okay, you're very funny. You're 6 years old. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I got for you. So, if you found this helpful, whoa, I did that. Remember, take action, learn from failure. Jeez, my voice is killing me now.